Today we're going to be looking at the flagship jacket from Dane, the Nimbus 2. So let's get straight into it. So the Nimbus 2 comes in as a replacement of the outgoing model, which is of course the original Nimbus Gore-Tex jacket. This comes at a bit more of a premium price point, but you'll see all the features on here and the improvements, and you will see that it is worth that. It retails now at £1,149.99. The size range for this is a UK 50 up to a 60, so Euro measurements would be like a 40 to a 50. The one on the hanger is a 42, and someone who is a bit larger when they wear their garments, this fits me really nice. Now, when it comes to the overall construction of this garment, as that's going to be the key feature or features, let's say, of this garment, you have highly abrasion resistant ripstop on the arms, shoulders and the full back as well with the armor core. That's going to be a Cordura mixed in with Kevlar weave, so it's a highly abrasion resistant material that can kind of rival that of leather. You also have super fabric on the shoulders there for the high abrasion zones, and if you talk about the armor, you're going to have a 5-piece armor set within the Dane Nimbus 2, as you would expect at this price point. That are going to be level 2 SASTEC armor, shoulder, elbow and back protector. A cool little feature about this garment is the elbow armor is adjustable, so you can move it up or down depending on your preference. If you look at the waterproofing of this garment, another key feature, it's got this Gore-Tex Pro 3-layer laminate. So the outer shell is laminated to the waterproof membrane, and it's going to be super kind of not rigid, but it is going to be a very waterproof garment that kind of just beads it off out of the outer shell rather than getting it wet and sodden with a drop liner. It's also got this treatment on the outer shell, an impregnation as they say, to kind of whisk away the water as well as dirt. So if you do take this off-roading, you should be nice and clean by the end of it, or it should be easy to wash off. Now, when we talk about the ripstop, it is a full coverage with this garment, and I think it's pretty amazing how much they put into the actual Nimbus 2 as well, because when you see it on the back, it takes up the entire back. Now, if you look at the interior of the garment, it has a 3D mesh. It actually reflects back the heat towards you to keep you nice and warm, but also the counterway of keeping you nice and cool if it is the summer once you take the thermal liner out. Think of it as if a runner's finished the marathon, it's cold outside, but they want to keep warm so they don't instantly get cold again. They put a bit of a silver foil on them to try and keep them nice and toasty. If you look at the ventilation for this garment, you have it at the chest area as well as on the tops of the arms, and it's behind a YKK waterproof zip. Obviously, you don't want any water seeping through the garment if you don't want air through the jacket. Now, at the front there, to prevent water ingress, you do have a 2-layer sort of zip system. So you've got a front zip that opens up to a rain gully, a massive rain gully down the middle there to stop water ingress through the zip, and then another zip on the interior as well. Both all YKK zips across the entire garment. On the topic of preventing water ingress, you do have a double cuff system in this as well to stop it from getting water within your gloves. A really cool seal that we see on these more premium jackets in general. In terms of the adjustability, you have it at the arms there, sort of up the bicep as well as the forearm, as well as around the waist to cinch it in nice and tight if you so choose to go down that route. Now, with this garment as well, the way it's been cut is kind of similar to what you would expect for the premium sort of adventure jackets that we have on the market. It's a bit shorter in the front to stop it from bulging around the front area when you're sat on the bike, but also a bit longer on the rear so you don't get any draft or any water ingress down the back there, which is never a nice thing to have. You also have a connection zip, so if you want to use the trousers, the pairing trousers to go with this, you can as well. For defenses against wind, you do get a storm color at the top there, so nice and simple to use. Just wrap it around there, stops any kind of harshness of the wind on your neck or freezing wind on your neck, which is never nice if you've ever experienced that. Now, the collar around there is also secure, nice and tight, but not to the way that it becomes scratchy or itchy and a bit of an annoyance. If you look at the back there as well, you have a full zip to open up the rear exhaust vent so you can get a lot of air throughout the entire garment, because as we said, Gore-Tex is also waterproof and or breathable, but then having the vent on the back there just makes it a lot easier for air to get through the garment. Gore-Tex 3-layer laminates, or the Gore-Tex Pro, let's say, has a tendency to be heard or seen as a more rigid garment. However, Gore-Tex has developed something called the Gore-Tex Gecko 3, a really cool name for something to alleviate some of that stiffness within the actual membrane. So it's a bit more comfortable, a bit more movable. Not that this garment needs it, but it's also a really nice feature to include in an adventure jacket that may be a bit more weighty than that of a summer jacket. So alleviating some of that, making it a bit more of a comfortable experience, means that we can be out on the bike a bit longer and also not get annoyed by the garments that we're actually wearing. So moving on to the storage of the garment, you do have a plethora of places to put your valuable items. You have 2 front pockets there. I don't believe that are waterproof because it's secured through a Velcro system, but you do also have interior pockets in the garment as well. Something that's quite cool but a bit obsolete now is you have a phone pocket on the inside that's the same size as a Nokia brick. They haven't catered for the larger sizes that phones have gotten for, but it's a cool little pocket to put your earplugs in, or maybe even a chocky bar instead. Now, let's talk about who this garment is actually going to be for. So if you want to travel the continents, go to different countries, and want something to kind of last the test of time, then a garment like this is definitely something to look out for. It'll battle all the elements, it'll carry you through them nice and easily with no faff. But on the flip side, if you are in the UK and your means of work is always constantly outside on the bike, then something like this would cater to you as well. If you do like this video, give us a thumbs up, comment down below what you think of the Nimbus 2 Gore-Tex. If you've owned one, please go over to our website, comment there and give us a review of the Dane Nimbus 2 so we can get a better understanding of this garment. Be sure to subscribe, ride safe, I'll see you all soon. Dane. God, Dane.